Hello and welcome to Ray Boy Field for the first round of the 7A District 16 playoffs. Palmetto Panthers are playing the South Dade Buccaneers. We're picking up in the top of the first with 2 outs and a 2-2 count on Christian Dixon. Here comes a 2-2 pitch by Uveris to Dixon. He did not go around. That was a walk. Let's go through the Palmetto Panthers starting lineup. We're sorry about the delay here at Ray Boy Field. Let's go through the lineup in a second. There's a runner on first. Uveris picked someone off and struck someone out. Batting first. Actually, we'll go through the lineups in between innings. Right now, hitting for them is the designated hitter, Johnny Montez. The pitch by Uveris is in there for a strike. On first base for the Panthers is Christian Dixon. Veris throws a fastball, puts it right in there for a strike. We do not have a camera for the outfield. It is not working today, so we're setting up a second camera for the field, I'm pretty sure. But if not, this will be the camera that I'll have to make do today. Two strikes on Montez, 1 ball. Here comes the 1-2 pitch with Dixon on first. And low, ball 2. Count even up at 2-2. Oh, pickoff move to first, not in time. Already has a pickoff in the to get the second out of the inning. He got a pickoff. Here comes the pitch, and he hits Montez. He puts him on base. The first bit of trouble for Uveris tonight, as now there is runners on first and second, and that'll bring up Jose Uzcarigu for Palmetto. That's probably not how you say his name, but it's close enough. That one was hit in the center, and Yusnel Gato puts him away for the first out of the inning. We'll be right back with the Buccaneers coming up to hit. Welcome back to Rayboy Field for the bottom of the first. Leading off for the Buccaneers, number 4, Gio Vera. Batting second for the Buccaneers is the pitcher, John Uveris. Batting third, Alex Regea. Batting fourth, Yodi Martinez. Batting fifth, Yuxnel Gato. Batting sixth, Douglas Horta. Batting seventh, Damian Gorey. Batting eighth for the Buccaneers, Ednio Diaz. And rounding out the order, Connor Rodriguez. On the mound for the Palmetto Panthers is Braden Eric. He pitched against the Buccaneers last time Palmetto was here. Gave up 6 runs, 3 earned, 6 unearned, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks. He starts Vera out with a ball. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. Upstairs, ball 2. The count quickly 2-0 now. Advantage Gio ahead of the count. He's very good when he's ahead of the count. A rare day game at Rayboy Field. Later on tonight, Southwest plays the Coral Reef Barracudas. The winner of that game will play the winner of this game. That ball was outside for ball 3. Here comes the 3-0 pitch by Eric Tavera. He watches that one, a 4-pitch walk to lead off the game, and the Buccaneers have the leadoff man on with the pitcher, John Uveris, up to hit. Jonathan Butler running for Gio Vera. 19 stolen bases on the year for Butler, the Buccaneers. The middle of the order has everyone in the 2, 3, 4 spot have more than 15 stolen bases, so this is the part of the lineup they want to get on base. Third baseman Donovan Moore playing in as if he's expecting a bunt. Here comes the pitch by Eric. 5 balls, and the head coach of the Panthers, Coach Wayne, already going to go have a conversation with his starter. That is his 5th straight ball. Has not thrown a strike today so far in this bottom of the first. So we'll be right back. We're back now. Coach Wayne already had a talk with this pitcher. See if he can pump a strike in there now. Here comes the pitch. That one in there for a called strike. Pickoff attempt to first, not in time. Butler gets back in there safe. Count 2-1 on Uveris. Right field playing deep. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Uveris slaps that one foul, and the count now even at 2-2. Here comes the pitch. Fouls that one off, and he will stay. The count will stay 2-2. The Buccaneers are going a hit and run there. We are setting up another camera right now. That should be set up soon. Count still 2-2 on Uveris. Butler on first base. Big lead over there. No steal. There is a base hit by Uveris. Butler rounding second. He's going to stay put there. And there's the first hit of the game for the Buccaneers. Comes by the pitcher, John Uveris. And the Buccaneers are off and running. Now here comes the sophomore Alex Regea, who's having a great year here at South Dade. Has a 359 batting average. Had a home run in the game on Saturday against, not sure of the team. I will get Cypress Bay, excuse me. Had a home run against Cypress Bay. Went 1 for 5 in that game. Had 4 strikeouts and a home run. And made the game-winning play. So I'd call that a pretty good day with the home run. Shows bunt here, lays a bunt down. That one will go foul. Something the Buccaneers love to do. They love to put bunts down, and I wouldn't be surprised if they absolutely put a lot of bunts down on these Palmetto Panthers. After the bunt attempt, the count is 0-1 on Regea. Here comes the 0-1 pitch by Eric to Regea. Swung on and fouled off, and the count 0-2 now. Defensively for Palmetto, the infield is Donovan Moore. Jose, I'm not sure of the last name over there. I definitely would get it wrong. Fragnos at second base and Christian Dixon at first. Barossa behind the plate, and on the mound is Braden Eric. Time called in the batter's box. In the outfield is Aiden Fragnos, brother of Ethan Fragnos. Isaiah Revolta in the center, and Watson in right. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And that is the first out of the inning for Braden Eric. Now here comes the captain of the Buccaneers, Yodi Martinez, who's also batting very well. He'll look to drive the first run of this ball game in. Uveris on first, Butler on second. Here comes the first pitch. That is an off-speed pitch that misses very high for ball 1. Comes the 1-0 pitch by Braden Eric to Yodi Martinez, and Eric just steps off the mound. On deck is Yuxnel Gato, the center fielder. Love to get him up with less than 2 outs. Taking off from second is Butler. Throw down the third is not in time. A double steal, and the Buccaneers have 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out. A great slide in the third by Jonathan Butler. This is 20th stolen base of the year. Now the infield coming in for Palmetto. The count 2-0 on Martinez. Comes the 2-0 pitch. He slaps that one into right field. Watson camping under it. He can't see it. He puts it away for out number 1. Tagging is Butler. Throw to the plate. Well in time, and he is out. What a throw by Watson in right to get the double play. And we are headed to the second inning, still tied at 0-0 when we come back. We're back at Rayboy Field for the top of the second. Uveris taking the mound for his second inning of work. Good inning in the first inning. Got out of some trouble. We're going to go through the starting lineup for Palmetto right now. Hitting for the Panthers is number 4, Lorenzo Perosa. He is the catcher. The first pitch by Uveris is swung on and missed at a curveball in the dirt. Leading off for them is Ethan Fragnes. Batting second is their center fielder, Isaiah Revolta. Batting third, Christian Dixon. Batting fourth, Johnny Montez. Batting fifth, Jose Uzcarigu. Batting sixth is the man hitting right now, Lorenzo Perosa. Batting seventh, the man that used to play at South Dade, Donovan Moore. And we have a little issue here as they are saying no bullhorn for the crowd. Donovan Moore on deck, played at South Dade last year, transferred to Palmetto. Batting eighth is Ethan Fragnes' brother, Aiden Fragnes. And batting ninth, the man that doubled off Butler, Gateron Watson. Here comes the pitch from Uveris. Count quickly 0-2 on Perosa now. Here comes the 0-2 pitch by Uveris. There's a ground ball hit towards Martinez at short. He picks it up, throws it over to Horter at first, and it is put away for out number 1. Quick work of Perosa there. Good job by Uveris. But come right back and get the first out of the inning. And here comes Donovan Moore. That one outside for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch by Uveris to Moore. Swung on and missed. Strike 1. Absolutely a high fastball piped right by Donovan Moore. Here comes the 1-1 pitch by Uveris. In there for strike 2. From 1-0 to 1-2. 2 good pitches by Uveris to get himself ahead in the count. Here comes the 1-2 pitch by Uveris to Moore in the dirt. The count even now at 2-2. Donovan Moore is a pretty good hitter. He was pretty good at South Dade from what I remember. Not sure what his stats are for Palmetto. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a ground ball. That'll be a base hit by Donovan Moore. Hitting to left field. Gorey fields it. And now coming up is the 8th man, Aiden Fragnes, the left fielder. That is Palmetto's first hit of the game. The winner of this game will play here on Thursday night in the 7A District 16 championship game. The loser of this game's season will likely be over. Both these teams playing for their season. Comes the pitch by Uveris, showing bunt and fouling it off is Fragnes. With 1 out in the inning, I'm sure a bunt here is nothing that is concerning to the Buccaneers. Comes the pitch. Swung on and miss. A high fastball. Can't lay off of that. Count 0-2 now. Here comes the 0-2 pitch by Uveris. In the dirt. Laying off of it is Fragnes. The count 1-2 now. Pickoff attempt to first, not in time, very close. Jono Uveris, a great move. Comes the 1-2 pitch by Uveris. Fouled off. And the count will remain as is at 1-2. Buccaneers hosting the whole entire tournament. So later on the night, Southwest will be playing the Coral Reef Barracudas to play the winner of this game. Comes the 1-2 pitch by Uveris again in the dirt, ball 2, and we will count even at 2-2. Moore on first base. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Uveris gets the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Kedron Watson. Comes the pitch by Uveris. High for ball 1. Comes the 1-0 pitch in the dirt, ball 2. The count 2-0 now on Watson. With 2 outs in the top of the second. That one fouled off. Comes the 2-1 pitch by Uveris. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Good off-speed pitch there to get himself right back in the count. Now with 2 outs in the second inning and a runner on first base, Uveris will look to get out of this inning. Pickoff attempt, not in time. Comes the 2-2 pitch by Uveris to Watson. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Good work by John Uveris to get out of this second inning. The Buccaneers coming up to hit when we come back. Back at Rayboy Field for the bottom of the second. Leading off for the Buccaneers is Yuxnel Gatto on deck. Douglas Horta, and in the hole is Damian Gorey. They'll look to scratch across the first run of the inning. Good work by Uveris in the top half of the inning to get out of it. That fastball gets away from the catcher for ball 1. Third baseman Donovan Moore playing on the edge of the grass, expecting a bunt here. That pitch is away for ball 2. Comes the 2-0 pitch by Eric Tagato. In the dirt there. Check over to first. He did not go around. The count 3-0 now. Comes the 3-0 pitch. There's a line drive, base hit for Yuxnel Gato. Leadoff single in the bottom of the second. That'll bring up Douglas Horta, who got the game-winning hit on Saturday night. And the big man will look to draw across the first run of the game for the Buccaneers with the leadoff man on. Pickoff move to first, not in time. Catcher setting up outside. Here comes the pitch. That one slapped in the right field, and that one will head foul. Horta with the 0-1 count. Here comes the 0-1 pitch by Eric. There is a fly ball hit to Watson and right. He's under this one, and he puts it away for out number 1. Now Damian Gorey hitting for the Buccaneers with 1 out and a runner on first base. Gato stealing now, and there's a bunt by Damian Gorey. A perfect bunt. Throw over to first. Not in time. Throw back over to second. Not in time. He zipped that play, and instantly the Palmetto coach is going to come out and have a conversation with the umpires. A fielder's choice by Donovan Moore. And now the Buccaneers have 2 runners on with 1 out. And here comes Coach Wayne of the Palmetto Panthers to have a chat with the second base umpire. Good zip by Donovan Moore at third base. Faked it over to first. Almost got the runner out at second. I have no idea. There's no way they can overturn this call, in my opinion. And that'll bring up Adniel Diaz now. Adniel Diaz now up to hit with 1 out, 2 runners on in the bottom of the second after the perfect bunt by Damian Gorey. No one covering Gato at second. And there is a line drive. Playing back is Fragless over there and left. And they had Adniel played perfectly there. And now there are 2 outs. And here comes Connor Rodriguez. With 2 outs now in the bottom of the second. 2 runners on for the Buccaneers. The 9th man in the order, Connor Rodriguez, up to hit. And there's a balk by the pitcher, Braden Eric, and now both runners move up into scoring position. 2 ducks on the pond for Connor Rodriguez. A single here probably scores both runs. Comes the first pitch to Rodriguez. He takes that one outside for ball 1. Already feels like a big spot for the Buccaneers to scratch across the first run of the game. Here comes the pitch to Rodriguez. Fouls that one off, and the count even now at 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch by Eric to Rodriguez. In the dirt, ball 2. The count 2-1 now on Rodriguez. Ahead of the count. Looking for a pitch to hit and drive both of these runners in. Here comes the 2-1 pitch by Braden Eric to Rodriguez. He takes that one for strike 2. Hit the outside corner. Got to get the bat off the shoulders to drive these 2 runs in. Comes the 2-2 pitch by Eric to Rodriguez. And there is a ground ball hit towards the shortstop, Jose Utz. Throw over to first. In time. Diving in the first was Rodriguez, and he could not get there. And he looks like he's hurt over there at first, and he pops up quickly. And we will head to the top of the third, still tied at 0-0. Top of the lineup now for the Palmetto Panthers. It'll be Ethan Fragnes, the second baseman. And he'll look to get something started for Palmetto. Potentially even get the first run of the inning. There is action in the Palmetto bullpen already. Not sure if they actually are going to do something about that, about Eric. But we will see. As the first pitch from Uveris to Fragnes was in the dirt for ball 1. We got a packed house here at Ray Boy Field. Here comes the 1-0 pitch inside ball 2. Here comes the 2-0 pitch by Uveris, and there's a ground ball towards Martinez at short. He picks it up, throws over to first, almost airmails it, but Horta, the tall man, catches it and puts it away for out number 1. That one almost airmailed, and Horta barely had to get off the ground to get that ball, to be honest. And now Isaiah Revolta up to hit for Palmetto with 1 out. The Buccaneers have knocked the Panthers off in districts for, I'm pretty sure it is 3 consecutive years, maybe 4. Could be 4 consecutive years that they have knocked them out. Or this would be the 4th consecutive year if the Buccaneers managed to get the job done today. That first pitch was away for ball 1. Here comes the pitch. Up high, ball 2. The Buccaneers knocked off Palmetto 2 years in a row in the district championship game. And last year, Angel Ayala pitched an absolute gem to get the Buccaneers to the championship game, which they had lost to Southwest. A little bit of redemption for the Buccaneers in mind. That one was in there for a called strike. The count is 2-1 on Revolta. Fouled off, and the count even now at 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch by Uveris. Off-speed pitch gets away from him, and that'll be ball 3. The count now full at 3-2 on Revolta. Here comes the payoff pitch. And that one hit deep into right field and goes foul early on that. Must have been sitting on a fastball there. Caught him out in front and fouled it off. The count still 3-2 on Revolta, and we were going to do it again. Here comes the 3-2 pitch by Uveris to Revolta. That one up in the air. That one goes out of play. The count will remain as is at 3-2. Let's do it one more time. Here comes the 3-2 pitch by Uveris. And there's a ground ball hit towards Horta at first. He bodies it up. Great play. Throw over to Uveris. In time. PFPs. They practice those. And that is out number 2. Great play by Horta at first. Started going towards the bag and had to dive for that one. And good job by Uveris to get over and get the second out. Here comes the pitch by Uveris in the dirt for ball 1. Christian Dixon hitting for Palmetto. Has been at Palmetto for 4 years. Has been on the wrong side. Here comes the 1-0 pitch by Uveris. Tries to pump a fastball by him, but that one misses high and in for ball 2. Here comes the 2-0 pitch, and that one skied into center field. Gatto under it, puts it away for out number 3. Great inning by Jonel Uveris to get out of it. The Buccaneers will try to put a run up when we come back. We're back at Ray Boy Field for the bottom of the third. Top of the lineup up for the Buccaneers. Johnel Uveris on deck. Regea in the hole. Vera at bat right now. And he takes that one in there for a called strike. Count 0-1 on Vera. Here comes the 0-1 pitch by Eric. There is a base hit down the line. That'll be a double. Could be a double. I don't know. Big turn at first base, and not going to second is Gio as Aiden Fragnes. Good job out there to get in front of it. And that'll bring up Johnel Uveris. Another single. That is the third inning in a row with the leadoff single for the Buccaneers, or the leadoff man just getting on in general. And here comes Johnel Uveris. Now here comes Johnel Uveris with the leadoff man on. Butler running for Vera over at first base. You know he's always looking to steal a bag. Here comes the pitch. Uveris fouls that one off. Count 0-1 quickly. No outs in the bottom of the third. The leadoff man on for the Buccaneers after the single by Vera. Small lead over at first is Butler as Eric steps off the mound. Here comes the pitch away for ball one. Count even at 1-1 now on Uveris. Small lead is Butler over at first, and that one fouled off, strike two. Here comes the 0-2 pitch by Eric to Uveris. Butler taking off, and there is a ground ball base hit through the left side of the infield. Here comes the throw to third. Not in time. Uveris gets all the way to second because the left fielder, Aiden Fragnes threw to third. And the Buccaneers, 2 runners in scoring position with nobody out. Now here comes Alex Regea. Activity in the Panthers bullpen is probably going to start getting hot now. As we are tied in a 0-0 game. In the bottom of the third, the Buccaneers threatening to put the first 2 runs on the board. Here comes the pitch. Did he go around? He did not. And the head coach of the Palmetto Panthers looks like he's about to have a stroke over there. Did not like that call. He's always complaining about something. I mean, all coaches are at the end of the day. Here comes the pitch. This one fouled off. Another high fastball. Time is called here as Donovan Butler had to put water in his eyes, and Eric looked like he was about to throw to the plate. I don't think he knew time was called. The count is 1-1 on Regea. Here comes the pitch. Base hit into right field. That'll score a run. The Buccaneers now leading 1-0. Great piece of hitting by Alex Regueira to scratch across the first run of the game. And with nobody out, they have runners at the corners. Now here comes the captain, Yodi Martinez. And he'll look to get another run for the Buccaneers. They have runners at the corners with nobody out. In the bottom of the third, the score 1-0. Showing bunt, putting a bunt down is Martinez, and it's a suicide squeeze, and the Buccaneers have another run. They lead 2-0 after the suicide. A single and a suicide squeeze gets them 2 runs and also moves Regueira into scoring position. Now here comes Yuxnel Gato, who had a single in the last inning to lead off the inning. Buccaneers already up 2-0, excuse me. And they'll look to tack on more with the runner in scoring position and 1 out. That one inside, ball 1. On deck, Douglas Horta. Eric has found himself in some trouble here in the third. Here comes his pitch. Fouled off, and the count 1-1 now. Pickoff attempt to second. Not even close. And here comes the 1-1 pitch by Eric Tagato. Slap through the left side of the infield for a base hit. Waving around third is Regueira. Here comes the play at the plate. And out at the plate. A great throw by the left fielder, Aiden Fragnes. Throw down the second as Gato does not know how many outs there are. And that saves a run from scoring. And now the Buccaneers will look to get another single and score a run. A great throw by the left fielder. And now here comes Douglas Horta. This outfield for Palmetto has been lethal throwing runners out at the plate. They are 2 for 2 today. And now it'll be up to Douglas Horta to try to score another run. They're all over Eric. Pickoff attempt to second. Goes into center field, and Gato does not originally see it. Now here comes the pitch in there for a called strike. Now here comes the pitch up high for ball 1. Now here comes the 1-1 pitch by Eric, and that one skied into center field. Revolta under that one, and he'll put it away for out number 3. But the damage is done for the Buccaneers. They put 2 up in the bottom of the 3rd, and they'll look to hold Palmetto to a 0 when we come back. And now we are back in the top of the 4th. Uveris on for his 4th inning of work. Buccaneers tacked on 2 in the bottom half of the 3rd. And now they'll look for a shutdown inning here and get 3 outs quickly. Leading off for Palmetto is the designated hitter number 21, Johnny Montez. 4-5-6 up for them. Here comes the first pitch by Uveris. Spins a curveball in there for a called strike. Now here comes the 0-1 pitch by Uveris, and that one fouled off. Hits the umpire. And built like Iron Man back there with all that padding. Now the count is 0-2 on Montez. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Now one away for ball 1. Comes the pitch. There's a ground ball hit towards Yodi Martinez at short. Good throw over to first to put him away for out number 1. And now the shortstop, number 10, Jose, up to hit for Palmetto. Great throw by Martinez. Basically threw that ball from third base. That one in the dirt for ball 1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That one hit into left. Gorey on the run. Diving catch by Damian Gorey. Great play out there for the second out of the inning. These Buccaneers are playing like they really want it. And now there's quickly 2 outs in the top of the 4th. And that'll bring up the catcher, Lorenzo Pedroza. Two quick outs for Uveris. Oh, my goodness. He hit Now he hits Perosa in the head. In the back of the head. That pitch got away from him. Perosa looks good, though. He's going to pick up his stuff and instantly run over to first base. So 2 quick outs and a hit by pitch. And now a pinch runner, or the courtesy runner for the catcher. After the hit by pitch now, Donovan Moore will be hitting for Palmetto. Had a single in his first at-bat. There's 2 outs in this inning. Number 3 running for the Panthers, not sure of the name. Here comes the first pitch by Uveris in there for a called strike. Got to be careful. He doesn't look like he's stopping. Could get called for a balk if the umpires are really looking at that. He stops here. And here comes the pitch. Line drive, base hit by Donovan Moore. He is 2 for 2 on the day. Picking it up, throwing over to second. Donovan Moore stays put at first. And the Panthers have first and third now with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. And now Aiden Fragnes will look to do a job, score a run, get the Panthers back in this game. Uveris looks to do the opposite. Get the Buccaneers out of this inning and get them back in the dugout to hit. Feels like a big spot. Vera putting on a play here in case. Putting on a defensive play. Waiting for the Panthers to double steal, but I know Donovan Moore, and I know Donovan Moore is not fast, so I do not expect him to get any larger than the lead he already has. Here comes the pitch by Uveris. Spins an off-speed pitch. Great work behind the plate by Vera. The count is 1-0. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Up top for ball 2. Uveris cannot let this get away from him right now. And Baldo rightfully going to go have a chat with this pitcher and make sure everything is okay. Don't want the Buccaneers to get put in a situation here where they give up another 2 runs and let the Panthers tie it. We'll be right back. Back here, the count 2-0 on Fragnes. 2 outs, 2 runners on for the Panthers. 2-0 Buccaneers. Here comes the pitch in the dirt. Good work by Vera to block that ball. And now the count is 3-0. With the 9-hole on deck, Kedron Watson. This is not, you do not like to see this from the Buccaneers right now. This could get out of hand if Uveris walks Fragles. That pitch in there for a strike. The count 3-1 now. Gotta attack him. Ooh, little Ferris wheel pickoff move there by the Buccaneers. count 3-1. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Fouled off, and now we are full. Can't lay off of a high fastball. The count 3-2. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Here comes the payoff pitch. Fouled off, and we're going to do it again. Great fight by Fragless. This is an excellent at-bat. Oh, there's a pickoff move again. Trying to do that same exact fake out to try to pick off the runner. The count is still 3-2. There is still 2 outs, and the Buccaneers do still have a 2-0 lead. Here comes the pitch, the payoff pitch by Uveris. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Jonah Uveris comes all the way back from 3-0 to a strikeout to get the Buccaneers out of it, and the bat's back in their hand when we come back. We are back here in the bottom of the 4th at Rayboy Field after the strikeout by Uveris. Damian Gorey leading it off for the Buccaneers against Eric, who is still in the game. We are flying through this one, folks. Here comes the 1-0 pitch by Eric. In there for a called strike. Good pitch. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That one too high for ball 2. Here comes the 2-1 pitch by Eric. That one skied up to Christian Dixon at first base. He calls everyone off. He camps under it. He puts it away for out number 1. That'll bring up Adniel Diaz. Adniel Diaz takes the first pitch from Eric for ball 1. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. That one fouled off. The count even at 1-1. Here comes the pitch by Eric. Ooh, good off-speed pitch. That'll be strike 2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch by Eric. Watches that one outside for ball 2. The count even at 2-2 now. We're going to do everything we can to get that camera up as quick as possible, as Diaz is punched out for a called strike 3. Yeah, we're back with the camera. We're sorry about that. As now there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. The 9-hole Connor Rodriguez up to hit. As there is a ground ball to the shortstop. Jose, he bobbles, eats that one up, and that'll be an error by the shortstop. And the Buccaneers now have a runner on with 2 outs, trying to start a little 2-out rally. Now here comes Gio Vera with 2 outs. Rodriguez on first base. Time now called. Rodriguez, good lead over there at first base. Here comes a throw to Gio in there. Oh, high for ball 1. Big lead at first is Rodriguez. Stealing now. Throw down the second. Not in time. Good stolen base by Connor Rodriguez with a big lead at first base. And now the count 2-0 on Vera. And now he's in a spot where he could drive a run. And he's 2 for 2 today. Well, he's 1 for 1 with a walk and a single. Here comes the pitch by Eric. Fouled off. Really wanted to hammer that one. Here comes the 2-1 pitches. Time is called, excuse me, by Vera in the batter's box. Now here comes the 2-1 pitch by Eric. Spins an off-speed pitch that misses high for ball 3. Umpire looked like he's blessing up his catcher right now. Hitters count for Gio Vera 3-1. Gonna get something to hit here. Here comes the 3-1 pitch by Eric to Vera. Catcher setting up right down the middle, it looks like. Here comes the pitch. Skies that one to Dixon at first base. He's camping under this one, and he puts it away for out number 3. And we will head to the 5th right when we come back. back here in the top of the fifth at Rayboy Field. Buccaneers up 2-0. Are only 9 outs away from putting this one away and headed to the district championship. Bunt shown there. That one was away for ball one. Here comes a pitch, swung on and missed. Strike one. A little golf swing there. So now here comes, showing bunt again and pulling back now, and that one was high for ball two. The count 2-1, top of the order on deck for the Palmetto Panthers. Beautiful day for baseball. That one inside ball three. Couldn't have asked for any much of a better day out here. A little bit windy, but nonetheless sunny and very nice. Here comes the pitch. There's a ground ball to Martinez at short. He picks it up, throws it over to first, and the Buccaneers have gotten the first out of the inning. Seems like every single ground ball to this infield has been hit to Martinez as short. Now top of the lineup, Ethan Fraglis up for Palmetto now. So that first pitch is swung on and missed for strike one. Great pitch by Uveris. They cannot lay off of that high fastball. That one swung on and missed too. That fastball a little bit more in the zone and sets up so many pitches to tunnel with here for Uveris. Expect an off-speed pitch. No, it just throws him another fastball. So now here comes the 1-2 pitch by Uveris. Outside, ball two. The count even at 2-2 with one out. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and a miss, strike three. Out number two in this top of the fifth. Quickly 2 outs now, and here comes Isaiah Revolta. And that one swung on and a miss, strike one. Great pitch by Uveris. 2 outs in the top of the fifth. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, outside, ball one. Here comes the 1-1 pitch by Uveris. In there for a called strike two. The count 1-2 now on Revolta. 2 outs in the fifth inning. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. In the dirt, ball two. This inning will be extended one more pitch. Here comes the 2-2 pitch now. That one skied. No room, and that one will head foul for the count. Will stay 2-2. Count 2-2 on Revolta. 2 outs in the top of the fifth. The Buccaneers lead 2-0. Stepping off is Uveris. Give him another second to think. Here comes the pitch. In the dirt. The count full now. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. In there for a called strike 3. 5 scoreless innings for Jonel Uveris. And the Buccaneers will look to tack more on when we come back. We're back at Rayboy Field for the bottom of the 5th. From the mound to the plate is Jonel Uveris, who's tossed 5 scoreless innings for the Buccaneers so far in this district semifinals game. There's been activity in the Buccaneers bullpen, double barrel activity with Gianmarco Valenzuela and Giovanni Orta warming up. And I wouldn't expect Uveris to come out of this game unless he gets into any sort of trouble here. The first pitch of this at-bat was in the dirt for ball 1. Uveris swings through that one for strike 1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch inside ball 2. Here comes the 2-1 pitch in there for called strike 2. The count even at 2-2 now. Here comes the 2-2 pitch by Eric to Uveris. Ground ball hit towards Dixon at first. He bodies this one up over to first, and he steps on the bag in time for out number 1. Now here comes Alex Reguea. Last time he was up, he had a single that drove in the first run of this game. And he'll look to continue to hit well and get on base for the Buccaneers here. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. There is a fly ball hit towards center field. That'll get over the head of Revolta. That'll be a double, hopefully. Here comes a throw to second. It is not in time. A 1-out double by Alex Reguea. And now here comes the captain, Yodi Martinez. Regea at second base. Martinez now up to hit for the Buccaneers with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. The Buccaneers not content with 2, want to get more. On deck is Yuxnel Gato. First pitch, bunt attempt by Martinez, a perfect bunt, and that'll be a single. A bunt single by Yodi Martinez, and with 1 out, no one covering second. Could have been on second, but no one there. As now first and third for the Buccaneers with 1 out, and now here comes Yuxnel Gato. One out now. Good spot for the Buccaneers. Runner on first base. I would expect a little bit of a steal from Martinez. Steps off and no, not even a pickoff move to first. Just a little step off and turn around and look at the runner. Oh, double. Oh, could have had him. Did that same exact windmill move that the Buccaneers love to do. And no throw over to first by Eric. Oh, man. Yodi Martinez might have been dead to rights there. Could have been out number 2, but it's not out number 2. First pitch fouled off by Gato. Wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a bunt here towards the first base side. Maybe even a suicide squeeze. Now the throw over to first on the windmill does not get Martinez. Here comes the pitch. Squares up to bunt and fouls it back. Looks like that was a safety squeeze by Yuxnel Gato. Had to hit it hard past the pitcher. Wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of motion on the base pass by Martinez at first. Also wouldn't be surprised to see another one of those windmill pickoffs. Big lead over at first. Going to actually throw to the plate now. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Throw down the second. Not in time. And the double steal scores a run for the Buccaneers. Martinez gets all the way to third after the second baseman, Ethan Fragnes, bottles that one up. Buccaneers up 3-0 now in the bottom of the 5th. And with the runner on third and 2 outs, and it looks like we have an injury here. Ethan Fragnes not able to get up now, and we'll be right back. We're back at Rayboy Field. Fragnes gets up, and he seems okay. And now here comes Douglas Horta of the Buccaneers. And now here comes Douglas Horta. Runner on third base and 2 outs. Here comes the first pitch by Fragnus. Taking that one is Horta for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Upstairs and gets past the catcher. Martinez going to the plate. The throw in time, and Martinez is out. Buccaneers lead 3-0 here. They tack on another run. Potentially could have gotten another one if Martinez would have slid there, but he doesn't. Buccaneers up 3-0, and we'll try to toss out another 0 when we come back. We are back at Rayboy Field. New pitcher out for the Buccaneers, number 30, Giovanni Orta, against Cypress Bay on Saturday. Only pitched to 3 hitters, excuse me. I think 2 walks and a hit by pitch, and he came out the game immediately. He starts Dixon off with the ball here. I'm sure short leash most likely for Orta. They had Jomarco Valenzuela, who had 6 strikeouts against these guys last time, up in the bullpen. But they'll task Orta to get the last 6 outs. That one swung on and a missed, strike 1. Count 1-1 on Dixon. Here comes the pitch. That one in the dirt for ball 2. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Dixon. That one fouled off, and the count now even at 2-2. Count even at 2-2 in the top of the 6th. Here comes the 2-2 pitch by Orta in the dirt, ball 3. Looked like a slider. Not close to where they wanted it to be. Someone in the bullpen for the Palmetto Panthers looks like he's getting hot. It's most likely come in this ball game. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. 5 outs to go for the Buccaneers to get to the championship game. That'll bring up Johnny Montez now, the designated hitter for the Palmetto Panthers. Time now called. As now Omar is going to have to come out. Baldo looks like he might have to come out and have a chat with his pitcher. He says he's shaking off Vera, telling him no. Getting windier by the second here at Rayboy Field. The wind's starting to blow in from center field now. Here comes the pitch in there for a called strike. Extremely windy out here. Here comes the pitch upstairs for ball 1. Here comes the pitch to Montez. He lays off that one. 2-1 count now. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Count even now at 2-2. We're punching it right into the zone. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Oh, upstairs. Ball 3, the count full now. A great pitch by Orta. Could have gone either way there. Omar talking up the umpire on that one. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fouled off. We're going to have to do it again. Count 3-2 on Montez. Here comes the payoff pitch by Orta. Outside, ball 4. And now the Panthers have a man on with 1 out. That'll bring up the shortstop, Jose. Not even going to attempt to say his last name. Ground ball right here would be great. Playing deep is shortstop Yodi Martinez. Here comes the pitch in the dirt there for ball 1. And now here comes Coach Baldo to have a chat with his pitcher. We'll be right back. One out, top of the 6th. Count, I think, is 1-0 on Jose. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. Out away, ball 2. Starting to get away from Orta here. Got to bring it back in. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. This time it's in there for a called strike. Great pitch by Orta to battle back. Here comes the 2-1 pitch in the dirt, ball 3. Good work by Gio behind the plate. Jose is the tying run. If he gets on base, the tying run will be on base. It's a hitter's count here. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. Fouled off, and the count full now. That could be my car. Comes the 3-2 pitch by Orta. Outside, ball 4. Back-to-back walks by Giovanni Orta. And now here comes Lorenzo Pedroza with 1 out. This is tying run on first base for Palmetto. Couldn't get any bigger than this. Here comes the 0-0 pitch to Pedroza. Oh, he turns on that one. That could have given Palmetto the lead. Don't like to see that, as the momentum suddenly is in favor right now of Palmetto. Comes the 0-1 pitch by Orta. Swung on and missed, strike 2. What a great pitch after Lorenzo hit that ball very far foul. Good off-speed pitch. Got the swing and miss there. 0-2 count now. Donovan Moore on deck. 2 for 2 today. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. What a good pitch by Orta to get the second out of the inning. Palmetto down to their last 4 outs. South Dade needs 4 outs to make it to the championship game. First, they have to get past Donovan Moore and get the bats back in their hands. Time caught in the box by Donovan Moore. 2 for 2 today. And his third at-bat of the day could be a big one. Here comes the pitch by Orta in there for a called strike. A great pitch by Giovanni Orta. Pickoff attempt the second, not in time. Montez gets back in there safe. Counts 0-1 on Moore. Here comes the 0-1 pitch inside. Oof. They need base runners here. Moore probably should have let that ball hit him. Now the count even at 1-1. On deck is Aiden Fragles. Sophomore against sophomore. Here comes the 1-1 pitch by Orta. In there for strike 2. The count 1-2 now on Moore. The count 1-2 on Moore. 2 outs, 2 men on. Here comes the pitch and pickoff attempt the second. Keeping him honest here. So let's do it again. 1-2 count. 2 runners on, 2 outs, top 6. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. No, not in there for strike 3. That one missed away. Oh, wow. Vera says that one missed away. That one could have been strike 3, but nonetheless, let's do it. Let's do the 2-2 pitch one more time. Now time called. So the count is 2-2. On Moore. Here comes the 2-2 pitch by Orta. In there for a called strike 3. What a way to battle back by Giovanni Orta. 3 outs to go to get to the district championship game for the Buccaneers. They'll get the bats back in their hands when we come back. We're back here in the bottom of the 6th at Rayboy Field. The Buccaneers look to tack on a little bit more insurance runs before we get to the 7th. 3 more outs to go for them. Here comes new pitcher in the game for the Palmetto Panthers. It's number 8. That'll be Ethan Fragnes. As he sidearm delivery almost hits Douglas Horta. That pitch away for ball 2. This could get interesting. The Buccaneers could tack on some more runs. Potentially put the nail in the coffin for this game. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Upstairs, ball 3. Head coach of Palmetto, Wayne, arguing that Horta is tall, but I think that ball was caught above the head of the catcher, so 3-0 pitch inside, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk, and the Buccaneers have the leadoff man on. And I think here comes a pinch runner for the Buccaneers. And now pinch running is Jonathan Butler, which will burn him for the rest of the game. And I think they're really playing for 1 run here. They really want to scratch 1 run across. So here comes the pitch to Gorey. Outside, ball 1. And now here comes Wayne now. Gonna come have a chat with this pitcher. As the Buccaneers weren't getting those calls either, so I'm not quite sure what he's really arguing about here. We'll be right back. Now we're back here. The count 1-0 on Gorey. Here comes the pitch in there now for a called strike. Took 5 pitches to get a strike out of Fragles. Here comes the pitch showing bunt is Gorey putting down a beautiful bunt. It hit him fair. That definitely touched him. I'm not seeing any. I see foul now. Foul by the umpire. By the home plate umpire rules it foul. I think that touched him foul. I mean, he could be out here. If it did hit him, he is out, actually, if it's a fair ball. So we'll see what the call is. Long conversation by the umpires here. They can't get this one sorted out. Oh, now they're going to call him out. It did touch him, so that'll be out number 1. And now Baldo wants to have a chat with the umpire here. I think he fully understands that. And now here comes Adniel Diaz. And now they're arguing about Butler being on second base here, but hypothetically, if that was a fair ball, he gets to move up, and yeah, so he's going to have that sorted out here with Wayne. And now the Buccaneers will have the runner in scoring position with 1 out. Now here comes Adniel Diaz. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Big, playing deep. The whole entire outfield for Palmetto was playing deep here. That one in there for called strike 2. That one looked a little low. And now Baldo wants to take an offensive timeout here to talk to Diaz. On deck is Felix Longard on deck for the Buccaneers. It looks like he's going to pinch hit. And here comes the pitch. 1-2 pitch to Diaz. There's a high ball there. Now the count is even at 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. In there for called strike 3. Diaz doesn't like it. And that'll be the second out of the inning. And here comes Longart. Longart pinch hitting for Connor Rodriguez. And the sophomore playing his first season of varsity will be tasked with trying to drive the runner in from third. Buccaneers emptying the bench here, using everything they got to try to get this run to come in. If Felix were to get on, the top of the lineup will come up to hit. That's the task right now. It is either to drive that run in or get Gio up to hit. Here comes the first pitch, and there's a fly ball hit in the center field. The wind really taking this one, and that one's put away by Revolta for out number 3. 3 outs to go for the Buccaneers to get to the district championship game, and here comes Orta to get the job done. Three outs to go here at Rayboy Field for the Buccaneers to get to the championship game. First, they'll have to get through Aiden Fragnes, Kedron Watson, and Ethan Fragnes to move on. Orta's tasked with getting these last 3 outs. They will play the winner of Coral Reef and Southwest, who is set to play here in a matter of in an hour, actually, if this game ends accordingly. 3 outs to go. Here comes the first pitch by Orta. High ball 1. Here comes the pitch. That one fouled off for strike 1. One count on Fragless. Here comes the 1-1 pitch by Orta. Upstairs, ball 2. Got to bring that down. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. In there for strike 2. The count now 2-2. Trying to get this first out. All important first batter of the inning. You don't want to let the leadoff man get on. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and he hits him. That is just, you don't want to see that. With the 2-2 count, that absolutely cannot happen. Now here comes Kadron Watson for Palmetto. Looked like a slider got away from him a little bit. Now with the leadoff man on for Palmetto, the 9th man up, the leadoff top of the order on deck. That one is ball 1. Last 3 outs, hardest 3 outs to get. Palmetto's going to fight all the way down to the last pitch. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, and there is a base hit, and that'll get past Gorey and left. That'll be a double, potentially even scoring a run. And now 2 runners. They'll have second and third now with no outs, excuse me. And the leadoff man on for Palmetto. He acts as the tying run. Buccaneers willing to give a run for an out here. I would highly assume they would be willing to give a run for an out here. Ground ball would be awesome. Rios at third for Adniel Diaz comes out the game. Rios comes in at third. Here comes the pitch in there for strike 1. Here comes the pitch in the dirt there. Ball 1. The count even at 1-1. On deck, Isaiah Revolta, the center fielder. These guys are going to battle down all the way to the last pitch of this ball game. I mean, as you can see, they had 2 runners on, nobody out. Here comes the pitch in there for strike 2. The count 1-2 now. Need to get this first out. No one holding on the runner at second base. Stepping off is Orta. Here comes the 1-2 pitch by Orta. Away, ball 2. Energy high here at Rayboy Field. All eyes locked in on this baseball game. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. In there for called strike 3. Orta gets the first out of the inning. 2 outs to go for the Buccaneers. And now Isaiah Revolta up to hit on deck is Christian Dixon. Here comes the first pitch to Revolta. In there for strike 1. Everybody in Palmetto's dugout complaining, but I'm sure that pitch was in there. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Outside, ball 1. 2 outs to go to get to the championship game. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. In the dirt and gets past Vera. He picks it up. Throwing to the plate, and the Panthers have scored the first run of the game. A wild pitch by Giovanni Orta gives Palmetto their first run. The score now 1-3. The runner on third base, 1 out. And the team having a little conference with Orta right now, trying to hype him up. The tying run at the plate, as Revolta is the tying run. Here comes the pitch to Revolta in the dirt. Count 3-1 now on Isaiah Revolta. Hitters count. Gotta attack him, man. Gotta attack him. Here comes the 3-1 pitch by Orta. Fouled off. Off of Revolta's shin, it looked like, and now the count is full. Now checking on Revolta is the head coach of the Palmetto Panthers. The count is 3-2. It is full with the runner on third base. The runner on third base is Watson. The count is full. Here comes the payoff pitch by Orta in the dirt, ball 4. And now here comes Coach Baldo, might be making a pitching move. And he's coming out to have a chat with his pitcher. He's down. He has 2 mound visits left. This will be his last mound visit. Here comes Emmanuel Mercedes for the Buccaneers. This will end Orta's day. The tying run on first base. Emmanuel Mercedes will be tasked with the save here when we come back. We are back at Rayboy Field. 1 out in the 7th inning. 1st and 3rd for the Panthers. Tying run at first base. Here comes Christian Dixon. And he'll look to do something here for Palmetto. A little 7th inning rally. And we are set and we are back and ready to go. 1 out in the 7th inning. 1st and 3rd. Tying run on first. Mercedes on the mound. Here comes his first pitch. Off-speed pitch. A beautiful pitch for a called strike. Montez on deck. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fouled off. Count quickly. 0-2. Mercedes wants to end this, get his team to the championship game. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. In the dirt, ball 1. Good layoff there by Dixon. A waste pitch. Trying to see if he was going to swing at that one. Dixon got some pop in his bat. He hit a high, long fly ball into center field that got the windup tracking down. Here comes the 1-2 pitch by Mercedes. Lays off that one. The count even now, 2-2. Here comes the pitch. Upstairs, ball 3. The count is full. This is going to get interesting if he throws ball 4 here. The big man Montez on deck. Got to attack here, Mercedes. You got to attack. Here we go. Here comes the payoff pitch. In there for strike 3. Great pitch by Mercedes, and the second out of the inning for the Buccaneers. Palmetto down to their last out. South Dade needs 1 out to get to the championship game. What a beautiful pitch by Mercedes to get out number 2. First pitch in there for strike 1. Palmetto down to their last 2 strikes. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. In there for strike 2. Palmetto down to their last strike. Buccaneers need 1 more strike to get to the championship game. The count is 0-2 on Montez. There's 2 runners on. The Buccaneers lead by 2 runs. 1 strike to go for Emmanuel Mercedes. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Outside, ball 1. Oh, could have rang him up on that. Doesn't ring him up on that. That was a great fastball. Omar chirping Pat, the home plate umpire here. But the count is 1-2 on Montez. There's still 2 runners on. The Buccaneers lead by 2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Did he go around? No, he did not. And the game will not end on a check swing. The count even at 2-2. It is antsy here. The Buccaneers want to start the party early. Want to start the party to get to the championship game. Here comes the 2-2 pitch by Mercedes to Montez. Called strike 3! And the Buccaneers are going to the championship game! They will play the winner of the Coral Reefs Barracudas and the Southwest Eagles later on tonight. What a ball game. The Buccaneers win 3-1. And they are headed to the championship. and an insanely good game. Emmanuel Mercedes comes back in the game, picks up the save, gets 2 strikeouts, and that'll end Palmetto's season. The Buccaneers will have ended the Panthers' season for the 4th consecutive year in a row. But nonetheless, they are off and running to the championship game. Absolutely incredible. We thank you for joining us, and we will see you Thursday night for the 7A District 16 Championship. Thank you, and have a great night.